simplifies cross-chain swaps by aggregating liquidity from multiple protocols. How does your SDK and API handle the complexity behind the scenes to offer a seamless user experience?
Yeah, it's certainly not easy. When you start to deal with a whole bunch of different protocols and a whole bunch of different blockchains, things get very complex very quickly. We saw this as we built out our own front end on ThorSwap, how complex the back end became, and that's where we saw the business opportunity for SwapKit to be able to bring that to other protocols, or sorry, other products, other wallets, front ends, things like that. So yeah, it definitely takes a lot of expertise to keep up with all the releases, to make sure that as a protocol changes, as there's a new update, as there's a new standard on each protocol, that you're taking care of user funds, not introducing new bugs and things like that. So yeah, it's definitely a challenge.
With support of 60 plus blockchains and more than 6,000 assets, what challenges have you faced ensuring smooth wallet interactions and transaction tracking across diverse networks?
Yeah, I just touched on this a little bit, but I think there's a whole bunch of edge cases when you start to deal with 20 plus blockchains. So whether it's something like we've seen recently, EIP 7702 blowing up on Ethereum, all of a sudden there's a new transaction type. And now we've got to make sure that every protocol that we integrate supports this transaction type. Or maybe a protocol makes a small change in the way that their messaging works. And then you've got to stay on top of a whole bunch of different things. So if you're a wallet, staying on top of 20 blockchains just becomes almost impossible. So that's where we step in as SwapKit. That's our expertise, and we just stay on top of all the different updates from different blockchains and protocols, so that it's an easy update for our integrators.
For developers integrating SwapKit, what are the key benefits of using your open source SDK compared to other cross-chain swap solutions?
Yeah, so kind of in the similar vein, one of the things that we've talked about is maybe you're a EVM-centric wallet. Maybe historically, you built on Ethereum, you built on an L2, and you don't have support for things like UTXOs or Bitcoin. And adding that could be a big engineering lift. So what our SDK aims to do is to remove that difficulty, so that we just have one simple package. You want to work with UTXOs, here you go. Do you want to add the Ledger wallet? Use the Ledger package. So we have all these different packages inside the SDK to just try to make it as easy as possible to connect to different blockchains. And being open source allows a whole lot of other projects to come and contribute to the SDK. So for example, we have a wallet called KeepKey. They want it to be available inside of our SDK, so they just raise a PR. We review the PR, we get them added, and it makes it super simple. We've seen people add blockchains, we've seen people add wallets, so open source is a big benefit for everyone.
Yeah, and the last question. Looking ahead, how do you plan to expand SwapKit's liquidity sources, supported chains, or feature set to stay competitive in the DeFi landscape?
Yeah, expanding the chains, I think once you get to coverage of the top 50 assets or so, there's, I think, a little bit of diminishing returns. You definitely want to connect people to places like meme coins and things like that. But I think what's becoming super important is price execution. So being able to deliver the users like centralized exchange similar pricing, right? So that within their wallet experience, they don't have to not only find the routes that they need, but they can also not have to compromise on the pricing. So those are things that we're focused on. We've got some exciting new protocols we just integrated. We just went live with Near. We're working on Garden Finance. We're really impressed with the coverage and the pricing that we're seeing from those partners. But yeah, that will continue to grow in the coming year. So we're trying to find as many routes as possible within reason to connect the liquidity at the best rates.